February 17th, 2003. A retired 59-year-old grocer named August Van Camp is hunting rabbits on his property near Brussels when he spots something unusual. Trash, dumped in his forest. He's furious. People are always littering on his land. But when he starts picking it up, he freezes. Documents marked Antwerp Diamond Center. Tiny emeralds glittering in the dirt. A half-eaten sandwich with fresh DNA. What Van Camp doesn't know yet is that he's just stumbled upon evidence from the biggest diamond heist in history. $100 million in diamonds, gold, and jewelry stolen from the world's most secure vault just 48 hours earlier. And if he hadn't been hunting rabbits that morning, the thieves would have vanished forever. This is What If. Let me tell you about the vault that everyone said could never be robbed. The Antwerp Diamond Center in Belgium sits in the heart of the Diamond District, a place where 80% of the world's uncut diamonds pass through. Deep beneath the building, 2 floors underground, sits a vault that was considered absolutely impenetrable. The security was insane, a lock with 100 million possible combinations. Infrared heat detectors, a seismic sensor to detect vibrations, Doppler radar, a magnetic field detector. Plus, the building had its own private security force and sat in one of the most heavily monitored districts in Europe. Inside this fortress, 160 safe deposit boxes where diamond brokers store their most valuable gems while negotiating deals. No insurance needed, because this vault was supposedly the safest place on Earth. But in the summer of 2001, a dark-haired, middle-aged Italian man named Leonardo Notarbartolo walks into the Antwerp Diamond Center and does something brilliant. He rents an office. For about $700 a month, he becomes a tenant. He tells everyone he's an Italian diamond merchant. Cultured, multilingual, charming. The rental comes with a perk: automatic access to a safe deposit box in the vault beneath the building. And just like that, Leonardo Notarbartolo, a professional thief with a criminal record, has unlimited access to the most secure diamond vault in the world. For 2.5 years, he studies that vault. Every camera angle, every security guard rotation, every blind spot. He rents a small apartment nearby. He makes friends with the building's security team. They wave him through without question. He's become invisible, just another diamond dealer in a building full of them. But Leonardo isn't working alone. He's assembling a team of specialists, electronics experts, lockpicking masters, alarm system hackers. Together, they do something extraordinary. They build a full-scale replica of the vault to practice on. And then, on the weekend of February 15th to 16th, 2003, they execute their plan. It's Friday afternoon, February 14th, 2003. Valentine's Day. Most workers at the Diamond Center have left for the weekend. But not Leonardo. He takes the elevator down to the vault. The security guard recognizes him and buzzes him through without hesitation. Once inside, Leonardo acts fast. He pulls out a can of hairspray from his jacket and, in one smooth motion, sprays the heat and motion sensors with a fine aerosol mist. It's temporary, just enough to create a blind spot for a few hours. The alarm system thinks everything's fine. That night, Leonardo and his team return. They bypass the magnetic lock by carefully removing screws they'd loosened earlier that week, using adhesive tape to hold everything in place. Then they use a custom-made, long 2-part 3-dimensional key to open the vault door. Inside the vault, they work methodically. They use aluminum shielding and hairspray to disable additional heat sensors. Using a custom-made, hand-cranked device, they break open 109 of the 189 safe deposit boxes, each equipped with both a unique key lock and a 3-letter combination lock. For hours, they work in near silence. Diamonds, gold, precious gems, all carefully collected. They left 37 boxes untouched. Not because they couldn't open them, but because they physically couldn't carry any more. And here's the genius part. The heist went undetected for over 48 hours. They even took the surveillance tapes with them and left the vault in pristine condition. When they finally left that Sunday night, they disappeared into the darkness. Monday morning, February 17th, diamond traders return to work. One of them goes to his safe deposit box in the vault and finds it forced open. Empty. He alerts security. Within minutes, the horrifying reality becomes clear. Over $100 million in diamonds and jewelry are gone. The press would soon dub it the heist of the century. And for 48 hours, it looked like the perfect crime. But here's where everything falls apart in the most unbelievable way possible. And I need you to pay attention to this, because it's absolutely insane. One simple mistake, one moment of panic, and the entire operation crumbles. If you're loving this story, smash that subscribe button, because we dive deep into legendary heists and unsolved mysteries every week. And trust me, the ending to this one will blow your mind. Now, let's talk about how a rabbit hunter became their worst nightmare. Remember August Van Camp, the rabbit hunter? Let me tell you why he's the most important person in this entire story. After the heist, Leonardo and his team returned to Leonardo's apartment in Antwerp to divide the loot. But they had a problem: evidence. Bags from the heist, tools, documents, food containers, all covered in fingerprints and DNA. So Leonardo and one of his accomplices drove to a remote stretch of highway between Antwerp and Brussels. They found a patch of forest off the E19 motorway and dumped their trash. Quick, easy, problem solved. Except they made one critical error. They dumped everything on the property of August Van Camp, a retired grocer who routinely picked up trash from his land and reported litterers to police. The next morning, Van Camp is out hunting rabbits when he spots the garbage. He's furious, but when he starts sifting through it, he realizes this isn't ordinary trash. There are tiny emeralds, diamond-related materials, and documents stamped with Antwerp Diamond Center. Van Camp immediately calls the police. And since they're already investigating the diamond heist, officers arrive within the hour. Inside that trash pile, investigators find everything they need: a supermarket receipt. Police go to the store, pull security footage, and identify the person who bought those items: Ferdinando Finado, someone already wanted in connection with another robbery. They also find DNA evidence, fingerprints, and critically, envelopes and documents that link everything directly back to Leonardo Notarbartolo. When police search Notarbartolo's safe house, they find a carpet covered in emeralds, the exact same type found in the trash pile. But Leonardo doesn't know any of this yet. Nearly a week after the heist, on February 21st, he makes a calculated decision. He returns to the Antwerp Diamond Center and uses his badge to enter the building. His thinking? If he's the only tenant who doesn't show up after the heist, that would look suspicious. But the building manager has already been fielding questions from authorities about Leonardo for days. The moment Leonardo walks through the door, the manager recognizes him. The manager calls police, then stalls Leonardo at the entrance, talking his ear off until officers arrive and arrest him on the spot. Game over. In 2005, Leonardo Notarbartolo was sentenced to 10 years in prison. His accomplices, Tavano, Denorio, and Finado, each got 5 years. Notarbartolo was released on parole in 2009, but violated his conditions by never compensating the victims. He was rearrested at Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris in 2013 and served the remainder of his sentence until 2017. But here's the twist that keeps this story alive. Most of the stolen diamonds have never been recovered. To this day, over $100 million in diamonds, gold, and jewelry remain missing. Where did they go? During his trial, Notarbartolo claimed the entire heist was part of an insurance fraud scheme. He said a diamond dealer hired him to steal the jewels, and that the actual value was only about $20 million, not $100 million. According to his story, other dealers knew about the heist in advance and removed their valuables from the vault, planning to file false insurance claims. But there's a problem with that theory. The vault didn't have insurance coverage. So if it was insurance fraud, it was the worst planned fraud in history. To this day, almost all of the diamonds remain unaccounted for. Many safe deposit box owners didn't have insurance because the Antwerp Diamond Center was considered the safest place to store diamonds. Real people with small businesses were completely wiped out. Today, Notarbartolo is thought to live in the countryside outside Turin with his wife, running a wood pellet business. He served his time, But somewhere, hidden in bank accounts or buried under floorboards or sitting in a private collection, those diamonds still exist. And one mysterious figure from the heist was never identified. The king of keys, the lock-picking expert who helped them crack the vault, remains unknown to this day. So here's the ultimate what-if question. What if August Van Camp hadn't been hunting rabbits that morning? What if he'd stayed home? What if the thieves had driven just 5 more minutes and dumped their trash somewhere else? Leonardo and his team would have vanished. The DNA evidence would never have been found. The supermarket receipt would be rotting in some landfill. Ferdinando Finado would never have been identified. And Leonardo? He'd probably still be pulling off heists across Europe. The Antwerp Diamond Heist proved something terrifying. Even the most sophisticated security systems in the world can be beaten with patience, intelligence, and meticulous planning. The problem wasn't the security technology. It was predictable security procedures, blind spots, and lack of real-time human oversight. But it also proved something else. The perfect crime doesn't exist. Because no matter how well you plan, no matter how careful you are, one random variable, a rabbit hunter with a sense of civic duty, can bring everything crashing down. This heist changed how diamond vaults operate worldwide. Security protocols were rewritten. The diamond industry realized that physical barriers alone aren't enough. You need unpredictability, randomness, human vigilance. But the question remains, are those diamonds still out there? Were they sold on the black market piece by piece? Are they sitting in some oligarch's private vault? Or did they get recut, recertified, and re-enter the legitimate market years ago? The Antwerp Diamond Heist remains one of the greatest crimes of the 21st century. $100 million stolen in a single weekend. The thieves caught because of one rabbit hunter and a pile of trash. And most of the diamonds? Still missing after 22 years. What do you think happened to those diamonds? Are they gone forever? Could they still be recovered? And if you were planning a heist like this, what would you have done differently? Drop your theory in the comments. I read every single one. If this story hooked you, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Next week, we're covering another legendary unsolved mystery that'll leave you speechless. And trust me, this one involves a hijacking, a parachute, and a man who disappeared into thin air. Until next time, keep asking what if.